This has been a hard last 12 months for kids, young and older. A lot of changes and even more coming as we get vaccines. So what will that look like this fall for school? College campuses are making plans already. Joining me to talk about that is Dr. James Hurley, president of Tarleton State University. Thanks for being with us.
Good morning, Kara. Thank you for having me.
So right now, high schoolers are taking the ACT and SAT, but many colleges have stopped requiring a standardized test score. What about you all?
We too have stopped for the time being, and what we do anticipate occurring over the next 6 months is a true evaluation of how important those standardized tests are for college entrance. We know that students, as a dad, I can tell you my son is a junior in high school. He is one of those students that is taking the test and taking prep classes to, prepare for college scholarships, etc. And so I've seen in my own household how COVID has had a drastic and a negative impact on K-12 learning. And so I think as higher educational institutions, we have a moral and societal obligation to help these K-12 ISDs, but more importantly, the students transition seamlessly to higher education. And I think we have to really evaluate what we're doing. So we have scrapped the test for now, and I do think long term those tests are going to go away.
Really? So, and that's what a lot of people have been asking. Will this be something that's permanent, and would it depend on the university?
I think it's going to be university to university or system to system. For example, we're one of the founding members of the Texas A&M system, and so for us, it's not just a single decision at Tarleton. We could look at this collectively, or we could look at it on a statewide level. But I do think, you're seeing Ivy League institutions, the most prestigious academic institutions in the country, starting to get away from an ACT, SAT requirement. And I think you're going to see a portfolio of other factors that determine whether a student can be successful, rather than just one standardized test.
So what are some changes that you all had to make that perhaps you're rolling back now when it comes to the fall, or maybe that are going to stick around, other than the standardized tests?
Well, certainly class rank's really important. We feel like if we're partnering with ISDs and we have the confidence in the superintendents and principals and teachers that are educating those students, we think that having those class ranks will certainly help us to make more informed decisions. But we're also looking at more ways to determine a student's success pathway through essays, through more individualized surveys in terms of you and I having conversation, meaning if you were a prospective student, around what your goals are for your future. And you can tell a lot by sitting down with the student whether or not they have what it takes to be successful in higher education.
As far as post-COVID is concerned, what does the future of education look like? I know that's sort of a big ask, but any particular takeaways that you see looking perhaps in your crystal ball?
Yeah, I think that the hybrid high flex learning is something that will be around for some time. I think that the fact that the students now, not only that have been in the current model in higher ed, we also have to remember that for the last year and a half, a lot of our students have also, meaning prospective students, these high school students that are transitioning to higher ed, they too have had to adapt, and now they have learned through some type of hybrid model. And so seeing that that's going to stick around, certainly face-to-face is what students attend Tarleton State for, but I also think that we're going to see more hybrid online learning blended into that face-to-face model.
Well, thank you for being with us this midday. Some great insight and perspective. We appreciate you joining us.
Thank you. Have a great day.